The latest show from the Arrowverse, Superman and Lois, debuted on the CW tonight. I've been pretty frustrated with the Arrowverse over the last couple of years, but I had to give a new Superman show a try. Was he able to win me back? Let's talk about it. In the series, Superman and Lois have twin boys who are about to enter into high school, so they decide to move back to Smallville in order to raise their sons before they leave. Now, naturally, when I first heard about a show where Superman and Lois have twin boys, I was pretty nervous about what the show would be like, but then they debuted the first trailer about a month ago, and it actually won me over really quickly.
I think it went really well.
By having a much more mature vibe to it than most of the Arrowverse has had. So I was very excited to check out this show. And real quick, before I let you know what I thought about it, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. What did you think about Superman and Lois? Especially kind of give me that point of reference of your thoughts on the Arrowverse in general. And let's get started talking about the good. And I'll get right to the point. I really dug it.
Excellent!
I feel like they found a new way to explore the Superman character. Of course, we've seen him in the movies many times before. We had Smallville in the past. He's been in the Arrowverse for several years now. And they found a take that we haven't really done with Superman before, which is what happens when him and Lois have been married for a long time and they have boys that are grown up. And in doing so, it's able to kind of reverse some of the formula, some of the sequences that we've seen before with Superman, while still having the beats that you want, but in a totally different context. We're in Smallville and you're having the father to son conversations about the family's big secret, but instead of it being Pa Kent talking to Clark, who's very confused, you have Superman who has boys that he doesn't know when he should tell them that he's Superman. That's very interesting. And just built inside of it is they're talking about the careers of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, that has frustrations that come with it. If you're Superman and you keep disappearing to save people, you're leaving your kids at home. When do you reveal a secret like that? All of those types of questions are interesting, and the Superman character has always been kind of a family-centric type character, but it's normally from that perspective of Ma and Pa Kent. And now it reverses that. And I kind of loved that aspect of the show. And at its core, it really is so much of a family show. It's about the Kent farm. It's about this community and these parents trying to do what is right. Along those same lines, one of the reasons I've been so frustrated with a lot of the Arrowverse is because they had a very distinct formula that they constantly used where the lead character had a secret that they're a superhero. They kept it from the people that they cared about the most, which violated trust. Eventually, their friend would find out about it and then join their side, or their friend would find out about it and hold lingering resentment about it. It's like every single one of these shows played out these same dynamics, the same exact formula. And he got very tired very quickly. And a lot of them just relied so much on unearned melodrama where people overreact to trust issues. And this show didn't do any of that.
No way!
Like, built into it, once again, this idea of when should Superman communicate his big secret to his kids, that's there, but that's not stretched out for 4 seasons. It's just kind of the starting point of the show. And there's reasonable reaction to that information and the way that it's handled. And I just appreciated that. Characters acting like real humans, even though it involves an alien that can fly.
Good call.
Also, some of the CW shows like to kind of wear their political agenda on the sleeve a bit. And, you know, I go into superhero shows for escapism. The whole point is the world that I live in is crazy enough that I could escape to these superhero shows. So when they want to turn every episode into some sort of big message, that's That's just not what I go to these shows for. And so with this one, there's one little segment where some people kind of have a little bit of a political scuffle in it. You can hear some of the Trumpy allusions and metaphors with the characters, but it's not done in a way that's necessarily one side just looking down. Certainly it's not soapboxing where one side is right, the other one is wrong. There's just allusions to maybe some current stuff without really taking a side as to who is right and wrong, which is the better way to explore ideas, is to look at both sides to them and let both sides have wins and losses. Another thing that I really appreciated about this show is that so much of television, movies, celebrates people sacrificing everything in pursuit of fame, their career, that being a hero is the most important thing, doing something important is the most important thing. And the central premise of this show is that Superman, who's saving the world, and Lois Lane, who's the biggest reporter in the world, decide to put that aside. Being the world's savior and being a career, put all that aside for the sake of their family. Like the most important thing is that we treat each other and our children right. I don't need to be the greatest reporter. I don't need to be the hero of the world. I need to be husband, father. I need to be mother and wife. And that's like the central premise of the show, is that family matters. And that's a really cool message for a show to have in the year 2021, where so much of that gets lost in what seems to be the values of most of media out there. And I just really appreciate it. As someone that has 3 kids, having a Superman show that I can watch with them and have it be about, hey, we make mistakes, but we're trying to do the best we can. And I'll trust you if you trust me in a normal family value kind of way. I very much appreciated that. Some other nice little touches throughout it. It kicks off with kind of a brief overview of what Superman up to this point in time. There's a great little sequence that's a reference to the first appearance of Superman in Action Comics #1. Such a nice little touch.
I like it a lot.
The production value of it, they clearly were trying to do the best they could with their budget. They weren't just trying to like stretch it with a bunch of over-the-top effects. It was like, no, let's do the right amount and make it look really nice. Make it feel mature. We're not going for the lowest common denominator. We're not going for schlock value. We really want to do a Superman show right. That's about family, and I appreciated that. If I were going to have some negatives on this show, it was pretty light on action. It kicks off with this kind of rescue sequence with Superman saving this power plant. It's basically an action sequence from Superman 3, which is kind of funny that it's the one that they went with. But it's kind of short, and it's not like, awesome Superman stuff. It's like, okay, it's just a little rescue. And then there is a fight later in it that's kind of long. But this was like an extended episode. So you kind of would want more than that. There's some beams that fall on someone, and there's an explosion. But there's really just kind of one cool action sequence. So maybe a little bit light. But in the scheme of things, that's not a big complaint. It just was, okay, it's a family drama with some action. That's what it sold itself on. That's what it excels at. So, but that would honestly be my biggest complaint about it. I really dug what they did with this. Real quick, I'm going to go into something spoilery. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to discuss the final thing that's revealed at the end of it in 3, 2, 1. So the final shot in this, our Master Chief villain guy goes to his spaceship, walks into it, takes his helmet off, and the computer says Mr. Luthor or something like that, like implying that this is Lex Luthor, and it looked like he was a person of color, which is interesting because that was my interpretation of what it was. I could be wrong about that. Which is interesting because in the Arrowverse prior to this, it was John Cryer was Lex Luthor. So I don't know what this is implying. I don't know what it means. I don't know where it's going, but it certainly was like, wait, what just happened? And my wife goes, wait, did that say Luthor? Wait, what's going on? But if this is Lex Luthor in that suit, it's like his armor suit deal. Like I had the action figure toy of this from back in the day. So it's him running around in that suit, which is a lot of fun to see that. All right, spoilers over for our people that didn't want to hear the spoilers. Real quick before I give you my final take on this one, remember to comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this one. This is mostly a spoiler-free review, so if you want to talk about spoilers, that's fine. Just put spoiler warning before you do that. Also, I have done some content on the Arrowverse before, in particular my seasons rankings for Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl. You can check those out right up here in this playlist once this video is over. Honestly, this show was so much better than I thought a CW Superman show would be in light of what they've been doing the last few years. It exceeded my original expectations, and then it lived up to what I was hoping it would be after I saw that trailer that they put out.
You did it! Congratulations!
I really dug it. I like this new direction. I like what they're doing with it. I've said this before, I really like Tyler as Superman. He's doing a kind of a more of an aw shucks version of the character while still having just enough of the 21st century in him. He's got a great vibe with our Lois here. I'm not sure what her name is. So all in all, this is what I wanted. I don't give letter scores or entertainment scores to TV shows normally. I'll just say I do recommend it. I will give it 2 thumbs up. And if you're a Superman fan, or if you're an Arrowverse fan that's kind of been a little bit burned out by things, this show is worth checking out. It might win you back, especially if you're a family person like myself. I think there's something in there for you to check out that you might just dig it too. If you want more Arrowverse content, check out that playlist right over there. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much.